He stood there every morning, watching thousands of people rush past him, and none of them ever really saw him, not because he was invisible, but because he had already decided who he was. Most people think failure comes from bad luck, from lack of talent, from circumstances they can't control. It's quaint history, but this story proves something far more uncomfortable. Your life doesn't change when your situation changes. It changes when your self-image does. Footsteps colliding like waves, a railway station that never slept, and right near the edge of one platform sat a man everyone avoided looking at. His clothes were worn thin. His posture curved inward, like someone trying to take up less space in the world. A small metal bowl rested near his feet. He didn't beg loudly. He didn't chase anyone. He just waited. Coins dropped sometimes, mostly out of habit, rarely out of care. Every day blurred into the next, until one morning someone different walked past. The man noticed him instantly. Clean shoes, sharp jacket, eyes forward, not rushed. We was the mind stamp. Not lost. Confident. The kind of confidence that doesn't need to announce itself. The man with the bowl felt something stir inside him. Hope, not the soft kind, the desperate kind. This one, he thought. This one will help. He stood up, smoothed his shirt without realizing it, and stepped into the man's path. He held out the bowl. The businessman stopped, looked down. But instead of reaching into his pocket, he asked a question. A strange one. "What do you give?" The man blinked. "I'm sorry?" he said. "What you give?" the businessman repeated calmly. "To earn what you're asking for." The station noise seemed to fade. The man felt heat rise to his face. "I don't understand," he said. "I'm asking for help. I have nothing to give." The businessman tilted his head slightly. "Then you're not asking," he said. "You're hoping." The words landed heavier than expected. "I work in exchange," the businessman continued. "Time for money, value for value. If I want something, I offer something." The man opened his mouth, then closed it. "I'm just a beggar," he said quietly. "This is how I survive." The businessman nodded once. "And that," he said, "is exactly why you'll keep surviving and never more." Then he reached into his pocket. For a moment, the man's heart jumped. But the businessman didn't take out money. He took out a card, placed it gently into the bowl. "If you ever decide to offer something," he said, "then you can ask for something." And with that, he walked away. The train doors closed, the engine roared, and the man stood frozen. People rushed past him again, but this time the noise didn't return, only the echo of one sentence. If you ever decide to offer something, that night, sleep refused to come. He lay awake on a thin mattress, staring at the ceiling. Angry, embarrassed, confused. Who was that man to speak to him like that? And yet the words wouldn't leave. For years he had blamed the world, the economy, his past, his luck. But never once had he asked himself, "What do I give?" Watching behavior, watching exchanges. A man bought tea and smiled when the cup was warm. A woman tipped a cleaner who thanked her with genuine relief. A vendor handed over fruit and received exact change. Value moved constantly, quietly, fairly. Nothing moved without exchange. Then something caught his eye. Near the edge of the platform, where concrete cracked and weeds usually died, flowers had grown, small, bright, unapologetically alive. He stared at them for a long time. An idea formed slowly, almost timid. He approached them carefully, picked a few, then returned to his usual spot. The bowl stayed beside him. But this time, when a coin dropped, he didn't just nod. He handed over a flower. The woman paused, surprised, then smiled. "Thank you," she said. That word hit harder than any coin. The next person gave him money. He gave a flower. Another smile, another pause, another thank you. Something shifted. Not in the station, inside him. People stopped longer. Some asked questions, some leaned closer, some gave more than usual. By noon, the flowers were gone. The coins slowed immediately. The pattern was undeniable. The next morning, he brought more flowers. And the day after that. Soon, he wasn't sitting anymore. He stood. He smiled first. He spoke. "Good morning," he'd say, "for you." People didn't look past him now. They looked at him. Weeks passed. Then one afternoon, he saw the businessman again. Same calm walk. Same presence. This time, the man stepped forward confidently. "I have something for you," he said. The businessman raised an eyebrow. The man held out flowers. The businessman laughed softly, reached into his pocket, and paid. As the train arrived, he leaned in and said quietly, "Now you're asking properly." The doors closed. But this time, the man didn't feel small. That night, he didn't lie awake questioning his worth. He calculated. If flowers worked, what else could? Months passed. The bowl disappeared. The station remained. But the man changed. He sourced flowers instead of picking them. He learned prices. He negotiated. He reinvested. People didn't give him money anymore. They bought from him. One looked at the other carefully. "Have we met before?" he asked. The other smiled. "Twice," he said. "Once when I had nothing to offer, and once when I did." Recognition dawned. "You're the man with the flowers." "And you," he replied, "are the man who reminded me who I was." They shook hands. Equals. As their trains arrived, the former beggar said something quietly. "I didn't change when I got money," he said. "I changed when I stopped seeing myself as someone who had nothing." The businessman nodded, and they parted ways. Here's the truth most people never hear. Your life doesn't respond to your wishes. It responds to your self-definition. You don't rise to what you want. You fall to what you believe you deserve. If this story stayed with you, let it stay a little longer. Share it with someone who needs it. And if it changed the way you see yourself, even slightly, that's where everything begins.